All right, cool kids. What's up? Yeah, today we have a good one. So we're diving into a mind-boggling story that involves Silicon Valley billionaires, secret land purchases, and the audacious plan to build a brand new city. So strap in because this one is definitely a wild ride of urban gentrification, avoiding the gross homeless, and throwing your money at your problems. I'm just kidding, of course. Um, Folks, imagine having the power to and the money to create an entire city from scratch. Well, that is exactly what some of the Silicon Valley elite are planning to do. But why? And what does this mean for the future of urban development? Let's find out. Now, I'm no city planner, but I definitely do have some dumb opinions about this. So let's get into it. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to design a city from the ground up? Well, these Silicon Valley moguls are about to find out. Are they the heroes we need, or just a bunch of rich people with way too much time on their hands? If you like this video and want to see more mind-boggling stories about the world we live in, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. And remember, if you enjoy stupid videos like this and want to stay within the mind house of Zonzo, there's plenty more where that comes from. So let's start. On my right, you have a tweet. On my left, you have the New York Times article about this situation, which very well explained the dynamics of what's at play here. And we'll get into that shortly. But this story is a perfect example of the absurdity and the audacity of Silicon Valley's elite. It's a glimpse into the minds of billionaires who think that they can reshape the world to fit their vision. But is it just a vanity project, or is there something more sinister at play? What's the conspiracy? In this video, we'll dive deep into the mysterious world of Flannery Associates. I'll explain what that is. The company behind this ambitious plan will uncover the identities of the Silicon Valley investors involved and their motivations. We'll also discuss the challenges and controversies surrounding this project. Get ready for a roller coaster of speculation, intrigue, and maybe even a few surprises along the way. But before we go any further, let's start with the story from the New York Times that sheds some light on the secret land purchases and the people behind them. So the New York Times published this article. It is titled the Silicon Valley elite who want to build a city from scratch. So pictured here are some faces, beautiful faces. The subheadline reads, a mysterious company has spent $800 million in an effort to buy thousands of acres of land. The people behind the deals are said to be a who's who of the tech industry. Cool. Now, let's get into it. So I won't read the entire article, but essentially it goes into detail on what was originally a unknown side of land purchasing going on. There's a lot of conspiracies around Bill Gates purchasing farmland so that he can have control over the I guess next COVID vaccine. I don't fucking know, but basically the irony of this situation is that I think even on Joe Rogan there was discussion prior to people knowing who were the buyers that it was potentially China, because and you'll see here the tech leaders had purchased the land near a California air base. And so the story was very small. This was about a year ago. There were stories that the purchasers of this land were potentially Chinese. It was, of course, purchased through an LLC, which allows you to hide your identity. And it's near an air base. So that didn't seem good, but it was great fodder for conspiracies. However, one way or another, I'd imagine it was a, they don't want to claim, but I'd imagine that they decided to come forward and reveal their identities, but and they will never admit that, of course. But Michael Moritz, Reid Hoffman, Mark Andreessen, and Chris Dixon, they are the Silicon Valley elite. The only person missing from this is Jack Dorsey, Elon Musk, and Mark Zuckerberg. So let's get into the story. So in 2017, Michael Moritz, the billionaire venture capitalist, sent a note to a potential investor about what he described as an unusual opportunity, a chance to invest in the creation of a new California city, a utopia, if you will. I mean, who just casually sends a note about creating a whole new city? I can barely remember to reply to my emails, let alone dream up a metropolis. So they wanted to transform acres of cheap land into a bustling metropolis, huh? Sounds like any real estate developer's dream, but is it really feasible? And what about the existing communities in the surrounding area and the Silicon Valley as a whole? Are they just going to bulldoze all this land and just build a new city from the ground? I can already see the headlines. Tech billionaires create city, forget about the little people. Classic, Silicon Valley. But let's take a step back and analyze this. On one hand, the idea of a new city with thousands of jobs and walkable streets sounds great. Yet on the other hand, who gets to decide what this city looks like? Will it be just another playground for the rich, or will it truly benefit the local communities? These are and the people who inhabit it eventually. These are important questions that need to be asked. But enough ranting. Let's go back to the story. So we go further here. Sorry. I lost my OBS. It happens, folks, when you're just starting out as a great content creator. Yeah, so he painted a kind of urban blank slate where everything goes. Just trying to construction method and new forms of government could be rethought. Wow, they want to build a new government even. What an amazing idea. So I'm going to pull up one of these videos that has discussed this. There are several. But basically, I don't see this coming to fruition. I'm just going to be frank. In the way that they intend it to be. You have WeWork, which I don't know if you're familiar with the WeWork guy, but he tried to do something similar to like this and drastically failed. The guy's a nut job, and so are these people.
From the ABC 7 News I-Team about a mysterious, massive purchase of land near Travis Air Force Base in Solano County. Sources tell the I-Team the plan is to build a new city on the land.
The I-Team has confirmed a group representing the investment firm Flannery Associates has contacted Congressman Mike Thompson and Congressman John Garamendi to schedule a meeting next week.
Nice views.
To discuss the firm's general plans. This is the first time a representative of the firm has reached out to meet with congressional leaders since the purchases started in 2018.
A source familiar with the matter has confirmed to the I-Team billionaire venture capitalist.
Cool. So that's the map of the space that they purchased. And on my right, you have the earlier, this is my left. This is my right. I'm just kidding. But you have the original conspiracy theories that when the identities of these billionaires were not known, there was just immediate speculation of the nefarious intents. I don't see how this is really any different now that we know who the players are. But We have to take a moment to appreciate the sheer absurdity of the story. Silicon Valley billionaires, secret land purchases, and just the audacity to build a whole new city from scratch. I believe that we're talking that they purchased in the realm of, so they purchased 140 properties from 140 owners. Apologies, I'll go back to the article. And they committed more than $800 million. As it says here, they created a sort of shadow company to conceal their identities called Flannery Associates. Amazing. It's 60 miles northeast of San Francisco. You know, in the outlying areas of San Francisco, you have plenty of enclaves, and this is the goal, to make just yet another. So one parcel after another, Flannery made offers to every landowner for miles, paying several times the market rate, whether the land was listed for sale or not. So yeah, and then the speculation, I don't think New York Times really covers the conspiracy. Oh, they did. Was Disney buying it for a new theme park? Could the purchases be linked to China? A deep water port? And of course, jackass Joe Rogan picked it up and talked about it frequently on his podcast. This was fodder for the China's taking over the land around our military bases for like over a year. Nobody knew. And so it goes on to say, bought so much land so fast that it spooked locals, blah, blah, blah. And so I guess eventually they had to come forward because they began reaching out to elected officials, requesting meetings about their plans and trying to mount their Trojan horse takeover of the world. Gotta love that Napoleon complex. And I think it's in the realm of thousands of acres. Yeah. Over 10,000 acres, blah, blah, blah. So massive land. That part doesn't need to be reiterated, but basically, around the country, you've got crumbling infrastructure in our first world country. You've got skyrocketing housing prices. You've got inflation. And then in every major city, you have traffic that makes rush hour feel like a never-ending nightmare. And these guys think that they can just swoop in and create a utopia. Please. It's like Elon Musk buying Twitter. It's the same idea. They think that they know what they're doing. They think that just because they've been great at building shit coins and dating apps and Mark Andreessen, I think you know what I mean. Like these guys are shit peddlers, and that they've made billions of dollars off of taking away taxi driver careers to build Uber. Brilliant, cool. You guys are fantastic. You've done amazing things for the world, and maybe I'm just skeptical of billionaires playing God, and maybe I'm just jealous that I can't afford a plot of land the size of Rhode Island. But either way, this story has all the makings of a wild ride that will, for years to come, be a great case study. But let's talk about some other ambitious projects that have captured our imagination. You have Elon Musk's plan to build a Mars colony. You have Jeff Bezos's dream of space tourism, which Elon has not dabbled in. It seems like the ultra rich just can't resist the allure of creating their own little worlds. But what does this say about society? Are we living in a world where the super wealthy can simply just buy their way into shaping our future? And what about the ethical implications of these projects? These are important questions that need to be explored. I've always wanted to build my own city. I'd call it Zonzoville, and it would have free ice cream for everyone. But I don't have billions of dollars to do that, so I guess I'll just have to settle for making dumb videos on the internet talking shit about the ones that do. Life is tough, isn't it, folks? But, if we were to really, think about this further, like, it's like they're playing SimCity in real life, but with a lot more money and power. Um, who needs a new city when we can barely take care of the ones we already have? Like I said about the infrastructure, skyrocketing housing prices, inflation. I don't think that building a new city is really the solution. But let's not forget about the practical challenges that come with building a city from scratch. You have to, resonating the land, dealing with the local communities, navigating the complex web of regulations and permits, and that's all before you have to deal with the real world issue of people actually living there and the problems that come with that, and the real world problems that come with that, like homelessness, which everybody seems to not have a solution for. And let's not even get started on the potential environmental impact to all of this open land. So are we really, really willing to sacrifice acres of farmland and natural habitats for the sake of a shiny new billionaire city vanity project? These are the tough questions that really need to be answered. But I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer. Maybe this new city will be a shining example of innovation and progress, or maybe it's just the next WeWork. Maybe it will be a model for sustainable living and community development. Or maybe it's the storyline of the last season of Succession, Kendall's project about building Waco living. So maybe it will solve all our problems and usher in a new era of prosperity, or maybe, just maybe, it's all just a pipe dream fueled by the egos of Silicon Valley billionaires. Only time will tell. And let's not forget who these guys are. These are your leaders, 4 white guys. It's great. Just who I want building the next model of a utopian city. But this story is just getting started. We're about to witness the clash of wealth, power, and ambition. It will become a battle between the dreams of the elite and the realities of the world we live in. So as this story unfolds, we're going to get ready basically to go along on a roller coaster ride that will result in speculation, battles within the state, the local governments, and probably even the national government once this starts to get more momentum and exposure in the mainstream media. This is just starting. They were just revealed just the other day. But this is the stuff that dreams are made of, and here we are. And this is real life, and it's going to be fascinating to see how this all unfolds. There's plenty of interesting takeaways to be focused on as this keeps going, about where the problems arise. I guess we're already seeing that with Elon Musk and Twitter. That's a very good example where you have a billionaire who thinks that he can run a social media platform because it seems easy, doesn't it? They're just shitheads posting their dumb opinions, right? Just like this guy. But anyways, there you have it, folks. The mind-boggling story of Silicon Valley's elite in their grand plan to build a city from scratch. It's going to be a Orwellian, dystopian, utopian tale of ambition, power, and the audacity to reshape the world to fit your vision. Is this a noble endeavor? Or again, will this just be another example of the ultra-rich playing God? That's for you to decide. Thanks for joining me on this wild ride. And remember, stay curious, stay skeptical, stay pessimistic, and always question the motive of those in power. And in this video, we went through the world of Flannery Associates, their ambitious plan to build a new city. We've uncovered the identities of the Silicon Valley investors involved and the secret land purchases and the potential impact. It's clear that this story raises important questions about power, wealth, and the future of urban development. Stay tuned for more mind-boggling stories like this. And again, do not forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Until then, this is Zonzo Mindhaus signing off. Talk to you soon. question the status quo, and just go. Schmo.